Good evening, everyone. I'm here to expound more on the Brawl in Cincinnati. I already posted a little short about it, but I saw that there was a longer video to it. I decided to do a longer video to it. With that being said, let's get it.
Knows exactly what occurred, and I think that these people are going to be brought to justice.
There are also several city cameras in the area, providing even more footage of what happened. Cobra tells me investigators are doing everything they can to catch those responsible.
These investigators have been working around the clock to identify everybody that's involved, to be able to locate those people, to be able to interview them, to be able to get a true picture of exactly what occurred.
Cobra says several people have offered tips about what happened and who was involved, but he says officers still need help.
There are still some people that have not been identified. And what I ask is that the public, play a part in this, because stuff like this shouldn't happen in our city. But when it does, we need people to step forward. That way we can bring these people to justice.
As crucial as these videos will be in building criminal cases, Cobra says they show a disturbing reality. Recording the moment, he says, seemed to take a priority over stopping the violence.
How do you not call 911? How do you not try to render some aid? I mean, you have a woman that is knocked unconscious. It's just crazy to me that we live in a society that people would rather take video than actually try to stop something from happening or intervening and try to render aid. It just, to me, it's pretty disgusting.
I mean, it is beyond frustrating to see this kind of behavior happen in our urban core. We are spending so much time, so much money trying to build up our community, trying to put Cincinnati on the map as a destination.
That's Cincinnati Mayor Aftab Purival talking with me remotely. He was on vacation this weekend and connected late Monday. He says his delayed response was due more to making sure everyone had factual information to present. Those videos of Saturday morning's brawl were pulled from social media via the Facebook account of a group called Get Right Witcha. Purewell says Cincinnati police have suspects in the case and arrests are expected, but did not give a timeline. He also told me the fight was not related to the Cincinnati Music Festival or other events downtown, saying that came from police officers. But he acknowledges it comes as downtown and over the Rhine are struggling with higher crime and violence. What do you say to people now who see this video and say, I'm not going anywhere near downtown or over the Rhine right now?
What I would tell them is this. I understand your fear, but we are doing everything that we can to make sure that people and businesses downtown are safe. We are asking our police officers to do extraordinary amounts of work.
First-term city council member Anna Albee, who campaigned on reducing gun violence, says it's a minor miracle no one was shot during the violence. She also says this case shouldn't force the city to change its current strategies underway to reduce crime and violence overall, which has included a new street crime task force, increased use of drones, and more foot patrols in high-crime areas.
We're not going to throw out our entire playbook over one incident. We need to make sure we are staying with what the data is showing us.
Now, as you just heard, Cincinnati police have indeed charged 5 people involved in the brawl. Albee also says she hopes people from out of town can ignore what she calls right-wing extremists who are using the incident to define the city as a whole as being out of control and violent. Several other council members put out statements condemning the violence, but declined to go on camera given the ongoing investigation by police. Hamilton County Prosecutor Connie Pillage agreed to sit down with me and discuss the videos like this one Facebook user Get Right With You posted, which shows how brutal some of the attacks were. These videos have been circulating online for 2 days now. When you started to see some of these, what was your reaction?
Oh my goodness. It just shows such thuggery and brutality. I was very moved by.
And of course, she'll go straight to the thug word. White woman, black assailants. First thing she got saved thug. But God forbid if this was a white person, she would not save thug. And yes, white people got thuggish behavior too.
What I saw in those videos. And this kind of violence is just not acceptable. This is not what our community is supposed to be.
Keep in mind, the prosecutor does not decide charges. She only handles prosecuting the charges police recommend. These videos showing that violence will be pivotal in determining what charges to be filed. So far, Pillage says her office has not received any cases from officers.
Will you prosecute these to the fullest extent of the law?
I will prosecute these attackers to the fullest extent of the law. And we will, when we get the reports, we'll present them to the grand jury and we'll move forward.
Anyone who put their hands on another individual during this incident in an attempt to cause harm will face consequences. I don't care which side of the incident or the fight they were on.
DG wouldn't share what the charges are for those 5 people, saying that some of the suspects who have been charged haven't been located yet. She said it's unacceptable. There was only one person who made a call to 911 about the incident. DG hinted that there was more to the fight than what went viral online, what's circulating, what we're all seeing all over social media. But she didn't say exactly what led up to that brawl. Now, Fiji did defend the responding officers, saying they only took 6 minutes to respond to the scene. They received that 911 call at 3:06, got to the scene at 3:12, especially considering the big crowd there Saturday night with the Reds game and, of course, Cincinnati Music Fest.
Fiji said she doesn't know the conditions of the man and woman who were knocked to the ground. However, Ohio gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy posted on X that he spoke with the woman who was hurt. He claims she told him only one detective reached out to her since Saturday. Ramaswamy added, quote, "Hardworking Americans shouldn't have to worry for their safety when they have a good time in our cities."
Vice President J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, and thousands of other people have seen the video online and commented about it.
Hi, Haley B. Miller, Cincinnati Enquirer. Have you seen footage in Cincinnati of a recent street fight, and what concerns do you have about that, given that that's your home city?
You said a street fight in Cincinnati? I have not seen this. Sorry, give me a little more background, Haley. I'm not sure about this.
There was a group of people who attacked a couple folks on the street in Cincinnati. Senator Bernie Moreno, some others have spoken out about it, have been critical of it.
Okay, yes. So what I saw, and I haven't seen the full context, but what I saw is a mob of lawless thugs beating up on an innocent person, and it's disgusting. And I hope every single one of those people who engage in violence is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And they will be. They will be so long as law enforcement in the state of Ohio takes their job seriously. I know Dave Yost cares a lot about these things. But yeah, I actually, you're right. Bernie did send me a clip of this, and we talked a little bit about it. I don't know the full context. I don't know how the fight started. But the one part that I saw that was really gruesome is you had a grown man who sucker punched a middle-aged woman. And where I come from, at least, when you have a grown man who sucker punches a middle-aged woman, that person ought to go to jail for a very long time. And frankly, he's lucky there weren't some better people around, because they would have handled it themselves. But if they're not going to handle it, the cops in Cincinnati, the law enforcement, you've got to prosecute people. We've had way too much lawlessness on the streets of great American cities. How many of you all have wanted to go to downtown Akron or downtown Canton or downtown Columbus for a meal, but you're worried because the local authorities in these big cities have allowed lawlessness to run wild? We have got to make great American cities safe again for families and children. If you want to take your wife or your children out for a meal, you shouldn't be worried about street violence, and the only way to destroy that street violence is to take the thugs who engage in that violence and throw their asses in prison.
But this last weekend, apparently all the action happened after closing time, right here outside the bar. The incident appears to start out with 2 men squaring off with one another like a controlled street fight. But a witness tells me before the cameras began rolling, the Caucasian man was walking down the sidewalk with a few other people. Words were exchanged, and then it was on.
Actually, my girlfriend saw a video of it posted, and I couldn't believe it. I think I kind of have a tough stomach when it comes to seeing stuff like that, but that was pretty violent.
Especially when a woman takes a punch from a man right in the face and goes straight to the ground unconscious.
You must have thought, wait a minute,
That's outside my house.
Yeah. I mean, there's unfortunately a bar across the street, and from time to time, late at night, there's some people who have probably been out for a while drinking, and, that we saw the outcome of it.
We could not get in touch with anyone from the Love Bar, but it's not a stranger to large crowds hanging out after hours. A person who lives right above the bar took this video last weekend. She was not aware of a fight that happened then, but with that many people, she says it's only a matter of time.
I've not been to Love, but I definitely see the noise in the crowds late at night. Yeah.
Do you kind of avoid it?
Yeah, definitely just kind of try to avoid it. Try to stay inside late at night.
Alex Hewitt lives across the street. He says he hopes police begin paying more attention to the area.
Definitely something needs to take place, I think, from the law enforcement, at least, specifically if there's not anyone patrolling the streets late at night. I don't know, it's a little alarming.
Mergard says that he's more concerned about what the fight says about humanity.
When you see that many people standing around and no one's really helping and people are really just egging it on and recording it and kind of laughing and almost enjoying it, that's kind of scary.
Police say that they have identified several people who were involved. They say that they have charged 5 people, but at this point we don't know whether anyone has been arrested. We're assuming there are warrants out for their arrests.
Guys, there was only one person who called 911, but police made it to the scene in 6 minutes. But by then, the only people left were the victims.
Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Thigi hints there is more to the fight than what was shared online. She didn't say what led up to the brawl.
Social media, the post that we've seen, does not depict the entire incident. That is one version of what occurred.
Thigi wouldn't share what the charges are, adding some of the suspects who've been charged haven't been located. Criminal defense attorney Jay Clark says it's crucial to know what started the fight.
The one lady who fell down and hit her head, that was a pretty significant blow that knocked her down. And I would think if you were inclined to defend yourself against something like that, you'd be able to use that much force, if not more, to defend yourself. But that's also the point of knowing what happened in the beginning.
He says the charges may include felonious assault, complicity, and aggravated rioting because of how many people participated.
I was surprised by the number of people, but if you look at it also, there were a lot of people who were trying to get people to stop. There's probably, I counted, 3 or 4 trying to back people off or push people away.
Thigi believes alcohol played a factor and wonders whether anyone was overserved at nearby bars. Regardless, she says there will be consequences.
Anyone who put their hands on another individual during this incident in an attempt to cause harm will face consequences. I don't care which side of the incident or the fight they were on.
Thigi says the street crime task force was out until 2 a.m. and the fight broke out at 3.
The residents we spoke with say this doesn't necessarily deter them from wanting to live downtown, but definitely makes them more aware of their surroundings. Now, the Downtown Residents Council is holding a special meeting tomorrow night. It's a meeting that was already scheduled after an uptick in violence, now amplified by that viral video.
When you see the video and the images coming out from that, what was your first reaction and thought?
That this wasn't my city.
Shock and disbelief from Downtown Residents Council President Andrew Knabb.
The crime that was committed by multiple parties involved was brutal.
And others who call the Central Business District home.
It's unfortunate that there are groups of people who do that kind of stuff, and we need to keep an eye on it as best as possible.
It definitely puts you on edge, I would say. It definitely is going to make you tiptoe around where you live and make you notice a little less comfortable.
Knabb says there's been an uptick in crime in the area over the past few months.
We've had ongoing conversations with Cincinnati police, with downtown business owners, downtown property owners, and downtown residents, be that owner or renter, about perception of public safety in our CBD.
That led to collaborating with city leadership a month ago to start organizing a special meeting geared toward public safety. The meeting at the main branch of the Cincinnati Public Library will give residents a chance to speak to and hear from panelists, including City Manager Cheryl Long and Police Chief Teresa Thigi.
Our goal through this was to allow for constructive and respectful dialogue with our residents and stakeholders and city leaders that they might not be able to interact with on a daily basis. The importance of this meeting is only furthered by the events of this weekend.
Well, NAB says they received more than 60 questions from their members. He says those questions range from lighting to stopping people from speeding to making downtown safer for pedestrians.
Paul, the race between incumbent Democrat Aftab Pureval and his challenger Republican Corey Bowman will soon enter the home stretch, and crime is becoming a key campaign issue.
Violence like that should not be happening downtown in our city.
No one should come to Cincinnati and have to fear that they'll be a victim of such a horrifying attack.
Mayor Aftab Pureval says the city is bringing on new police officers as quickly as it can.
I understand your fear, but we are doing everything that we can to make sure that people and businesses downtown are safe.
Pureval is on a family vacation, but says he'll be back for a meeting with downtown residents Tuesday night.
I'm doing everything I can, being in lockstep with the chief, regular check-ins with her, but I also am trying to be a dad and a husband.
Thank you for what you're doing. Corey Bowman spent Monday on 4th Street where the brawl happened.
And this lady comes down out of her way and gives me a hug and says, "Thank you for running." She said, "I moved here from California because I love Cincinnati and I wanted to live here." And she said, "We were told that this was a very safe financial district that we could live and be safe in." And she said, "Ever since we moved here, it's progressively gotten worse and worse."
He's criticizing Pureval's response.
And my phone is blown up today because just today, on Monday, is the first time that we're hearing from the mayor of this city when it happened on Friday night.
I was hoping to provide more detailed information, which is part of the reason why I was holding back a comment.
Bowman feels it's a culture problem that starts at the top.
This is about a city that is not being managed properly. And what we're calling is trickle-down incompetency. When you have it from the top down, you're going to see this affect every area of government and then every area of the streets.
Bowman is calling for City Manager Cheryl Long to resign, and Pureval says his opponent is doing all of this for PR reasons.
For the first time, the man